Hi, if you're an ambitious executive, founders, or financial advisors, you're capable and have invested time, money, and effort, but somehow not getting the career breakthrough, clients, or recognition that you truly deserve, I've recorded this video just for you. So what's stopping you is not a strategy gap. It's something deeper. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact 5-step ICAN system that I've used not just for myself, but also for my high-performing clients to help them break their deep-rooted barriers to get a promotion, grow their business, and increase their income without burning out. There's nothing artificial, just 5 proven steps to help them remove what has been stopping them from the inside. So if you want to stop figuring things out on your own, keep watching. So the fact that you're watching this video, chances are you're a growth-minded person and have tried different forms of self-help resources. I've been there and I've done that as well. And chances are you probably find that you have not achieved the results or the breakthrough that you're looking for. If that's you, you are not alone. Now, while self-help resources are fantastic and I use a lot of that myself as well, I found out that most of these resources are meant for an audience and they're not designed for you. So what do I mean by that is that they didn't consider what you want, how you're feeling, and the specific challenges that you're facing at that point in time. And for that reason, I've designed what I call the ICAN system, a personalized program meant for professionals like yourself, founders, as well as financial advisors who are ambitious and committed to achieving their goals, but somehow feeling tired from overthinking and procrastinating, and probably a little bit exhausted from trying to do things all by themselves. So why am I doing this? Hi, I'm Michael, and it took me 25 years to record this video for you. So my career started in the year 20,000 with the mobile telco industry, where I went to spend the next 17 years doing different roles, progressing from local roles to regional roles, and also doing different leadership roles. And the highlight being in 2013 when I took on an 4 years overseas posting to Indonesia with Telkomsel. And I came back in 2017 to join the e-commerce industry with Alibaba Group. And in my last capacity, I was the regional vice president for last mile marketing solutions with Lazada. So life was great. I get to work with some of the biggest global brands, helping them to grow their business on Lazada in Southeast Asia. Then one morning in September 2023, that world came to a stop. I was retrenched and I was 48 years old. So at that point in time, I asked myself, what's next? But you also reminded me of the many instances and the many times in my life whereby I was confronted with different challenges and it felt almost impossible at that point in time. But each time I attacked these challenges, came back stronger and reminded myself and to prove to myself that I can. And those experiences form the foundation of what I teach today, the I can mindset. And that's what I want to show you. My mission today is to help fellow professionals like yourself to develop an I can mindset so that you can gain the results and the recognition that you truly deserve. Because from my own experience, I've learned that while other people can doubt you, your competitors can take away your job, and your clients can reject you, but nobody can take away your I can mindset. Because that is a life skill and you own it. And that's what I want to share with you in this video. So fast forward to today, I'm very grateful. I'm a certified coach, a resilience trainer, a positive psychology practitioner, and I'm also the founder of Positive Minds, my own coaching and training practice. And in this video, I want to show you the exact system that I've used, not just for myself, but also for my high-performing clients. So it's a blend of science with real-life experience that AI can provide. And it is the same science that elite professionals and executives has used to enhance their performance as well. Again, I'm very grateful that my approach and the topics that I write about has been recognized and featured by some of the media houses like News in Asia, as well as LinkedIn News Asia. Okay, so how is this different from everything else that you have already tried? So like yourself, I've actually consumed a lot of self-help resources. I have also joined quite a number of group coaching programs, and this is what I found out in general. So a lot of self-help resources out there are fantastic, but they adopt what I call a cookie cutter approach. So in most cases, these programs are generalized. So they assume that a single piece of best practice or a single piece of advice is applicable for everyone without considering your unique context. So it's a one size fits all approach. And it is very goal focused in the sense that it focuses pretty much on the outcome, which is nothing wrong. But in my opinion, it misses out on one of the most critical factor to achieve those outcomes. And that is you as an individual, because you are the one that's going to deliver that outcome, not the theories and not the formulas. Next, as I mentioned, this is most of the cases, this is designed for a large audience. In my case, I've actually attended classes that is between 30 to 300 people. And if you're like me, an introvert, chances are you'll feel entirely invisible, right? You'll end up being just another name on the name list or another face in the audience. And in most cases, these celebrity coaches doesn't even know that you exist. So if they don't even know that you exist, how can you expect them to actually understand your unique challenges and help you to solve it? So in most cases, you end up as being invisible. Uh, and pretty much it's a do it for DIY approach whereby they teach you the formulas, the approach, the framework, but you have to do it yourself without any proper guidance. So there's no direct guidance whereby the coach can actually offer to you, and there's no direct access from you to the coach as well. And as a result of that, a lot of these programs assume that by doing more, you'll create the outcome that you want. So drawing from my own experience from these courses, I've designed the ICAN system, which is very youth-centric. So what do I mean by this is that everything that we do in the program centers and anchors around you as a unique individual. So we'll start off by having what I call the personalized smart fit plan. So this is essentially a project plan, and it's the foundation of everything we do. So it's a very structured project plan that provides a clear path in terms of every single step, what you need to do and what needs to happen to guide you from where you are to where you want to be. And we also consider you as a unique individual by first understanding what's your values, your personality, and your goals. Because a lot of time, the theories or the best practices or even some of these strategies may work for others, but may not necessarily work for you. So we want to understand you as an individual as a starting point. We also want to consider your strengths as well as what I call the emotional saboteurs. So these emotional saboteurs are triggers that are holding you back from the inside. So we'll help you to understand what are your strengths as well as what are some of these triggers that has been silently holding you back from the inside. And of course, you'll receive direct support and guidance from me on a direct basis whereby you can reach out to me. So this is pretty much a done with you approach. So I'll be working along with you to make sure that you achieve your project plans or the goals that you set for yourself along the way. And when we combine all these things together, so what we are really doing is to align your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions to create the maximum impact for yourself. And how are we going to do that? So in most cases, this is where we are, and this is where we want to be. So from where we are to where we want to be, it is not a linear path. And very specifically, there are three set of barriers that are standing in our way that we need to overcome. So the first one is beliefs. So beliefs relates to the stories, the narratives, or even the words that you tell yourself when you're alone. So are these words and are these stories forwarding you towards where you want to be, or are they limiting you from who you want to become? Next, we look at your feelings. So this is how we feel about self deep inside. Do we truly believe we are capable of achieving the goals that we set for ourselves? Or are we silently doubting or even questioning whether you can do it? And lastly, we look at ownership. So this is how we show up on a daily basis. Are you doing what you need to do? Or are you avoiding what you need to do to get to the goals that you set for yourself? So as you can see, there are three sets of barriers that are standing in our way, and the path is never linear. We need to jump over three loops. In fact, we need to jump over 3 hurdles, and this is your mindset hurdle, your emotional hurdles, as lastly, your actions hurdle. And how we're going to do this is I've actually created a very clear 5-step pathway forward that will guide you every step of the way from where we are to where you want to be. So we start off with understanding ourselves, as I mentioned earlier on, the self-awareness and the clarity of who you are. What are some of your limiting beliefs, your strengths, as well as saboteurs? And then we take the next step, what I call the I want, to build your self-trust. So this is really about believing in yourself, having the conviction to do the real work, the things that needs to be done to move you forward. Next is I try. So this is really about building resilience, the confidence in yourself to challenge, to take on new tasks, and also to step out of your comfort zone. And lastly, I will is about ownership. So this is about the discipline to show up, to follow through, and to stop procrastinating when there is this strong temptation of giving up. And lastly, the final step is I can, to grow into the person that you know that you are truly capable of. So as you can see, from where we are to where we want to be, it is not a linear path, and there are 3 different steps that needs to happen in between. So in this program, we will provide you that clear path to move through these 5 steps to reach from where you are to where you want to be. And this is how it looks like when we put everything together in terms of how each of these steps will help you to overcome, to jump over this barrier in terms of your mindset, your emotion, and your actions to get you to where you want to be. Okay, our first step here is to understand our mindset. So we ask ourselves, is your current mindset forwarding you or limiting you? So who we are today, the results that we achieve today is actually the sum of our stories. So who we are today is the result of our stories. And our stories is made out of 5 specific components. And that is our values, our beliefs, the biases, assumption, and social needs. And when these 5 components come together, it creates what we call our stories. So the self-talk, the things that we tell ourselves on a daily basis, and it creates 2 very powerful outcomes. The first one is our reality. So this reality relates to how we see ourselves and our identity, how other people see us. And together, again, it forms our perception and what we think as truth. So we'll start off by, first of all, understanding and pinpointing, in fact, which of this is the source of your limiting stories. And when we reframe these limiting stories, we get to identify what are some of these narratives that no longer serve you. They might have served you in the past, but they are no longer effective to bring you from where you are to where you want to be. So it's really about reframing some of these narratives that no longer serves you to build the self-trust. And why this is important, because everything starts with our mind. So if we don't have the correct mindset, we can never get the results that we want. So this is the first step that we will do. And the next thing, as I mentioned earlier on, is to understand how our mindset actually influence our feelings and then affect our own action. So this is based on cognitive science, and it says that what we think in our mind affects how we feel inside, and that results to the action that we take, and it is this circular loop in this format. So what we want to do here is really to understand the inner conflict between what we want and how we feel. So in many cases, how this surface on a daily basis is that we may want something. For instance, you may want to get a promotion, but you are telling yourself, but I'm not a good leader. So you could see the conflict between what you want, your goal, and how do you feel about yourself in terms of achieving that goal. So there is this conflict. So what we want to do is to remove that inner conflict between your head and your heart so that it enables a more aligned action. And why this matters is because when we don't resolve the conflict between the head and the heart, we may end up doing a lot of actions that are either unproductive or ineffective. And when we do that, to deconflict it, you realize that the head, the heart, and your hand are in full alignment, and that's when you achieve the maximum impact and the best outcome for yourself. This is an example of Anis. So Anis is one of my clients. So what happened to Anis is that he owns a digital marketing agency and he wants to win bigger clients. So that was his goal. He wanted to win bigger clients. But when we work together, he has this limiting beliefs or limiting narrative that why would this big brand choose me when I'm a small boutique agency? So that was his limiting belief. So he wanted to win the accounts, but at the same time, he's questioning why would a client even want to choose him. So as a result of that, he already felt defeated and he couldn't win any of the speeches. And when we reframe the narrative, Anif is able to break out, as you can see over here, to achieve his real potential. And today, I'm very proud of him. He has not only grown the size of his team to about 25 packs, and he has also extended his business beyond Indonesia into other countries in Southeast Asia as well. So that's an example of what we can do. Next, we examine our emotions by asking how we're feeling ourselves at this point. Do we truly trust that we can achieve the goals that we want to achieve? And for us to understand that, first of all, we need to understand this thing called the emotional saboteurs. So this is based on scientific research. So what we basically say is that there are 9 different emotional saboteurs profile, and each of us will fall into either of these 9. So for myself, for instance, I'm a stickler, which translates to I'm a perfectionist. So what this helps us is that to recognize the triggers, the profile that we have that induces certain emotions or reaction in us. So this could be like, for instance, stress, fear, or even avoidance. And the reason why this is important is also because a lot of time when we don't understand the emotion that we are feeling, we tend to believe that we are what we feel. So we start to believe that we are the person based on the emotions or the feelings that we are going through at that point in time. And that's when we end up a lot of self-judge, self-blame, and we think to ourselves, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I'm not the person to achieve this set of goals. And what we want to do is to give you that foundation to understand how this is holding you back from the inside so that you can build the confidence and performs under pressure when it really matters for you. Speaking of confidence, we will also help you to gain confidence by understanding that confidence doesn't happen in a single leap. So it doesn't happen this way in one single leap. Rather, confidence is a result of what I call building positive evidences, and that comes in form of mini wins. So this is, you probably have heard it before. It's about building small wins, mini wins, progressively, consistently over a period of time. And why this is important is because when we build these small wins over a period of time, it actually helps our brain to understand what is becoming possible now. And that itself creates what I call positive evidences. So your brain starts to recognize what has becoming possible for you, and that itself creates a positive emotion in you, not just in doing the task, but pursuing your goal as well. And that is very important to build, to help you to build that momentum and to progressively build that self-confidence. And that's what we will be doing. Lastly, we look at action. So what's the real reason when you procrastinate, which happens to a lot of us? So what I've done based on the more than 100 sessions of coaching sessions and the science that I read up, so I developed what I call the procrastination equation. So in most cases, we procrastinate when we feel that the effort that we need to put in is a huge amount of effort and there's a high level of discomfort, right? So in most cases, we procrastinate when we feel that we need to put in a huge amount of effort and it involves a high level of discomfort. So what I found out is that beyond these 2 elements, there's actually a third element that is holding us back. And that is what I call the expected outcome. So we tend to procrastinate when the expected outcome, we deem it to be modest, insignificant, or sometimes downright embarrassing. And that's when we procrastinate. So what we do is to help you understand which of these 3 components is the key barrier that's holding you back and how we can help you to reframe and address some of this so that you can break your procrastination equation. And a lot of times we procrastinate is because of a deeper reason. And this is, I want to just share with you this framework that explains why we avoid doing certain things and why certain challenges keep surfacing. So the challenge that we face is actually what we see using this iceberg model. So what we see, the challenges that you see, like for example, procrastination is really just the surface level symptoms. And underneath it is a lot deeper reasons on why this is happening. And one of the reason, if you sense that a particular challenge or particular issues that you're trying to resolve has been repeating or recurring over a period of time. So usually that is a telltale sign that you are not addressing the root cause, and the root cause itself is something deeper. There is actually three deeper levels. It starts with mindset, the triggers, emotions we talk about, as well as your behavioral patterns. So what we will do is to help you truly understand what is your deep lying root causes, and then to form a targeted action to address your core block. So what's really holding you back? Because when we do that, if one time you break your limiting habits and address what has been truly holding you back from the inside. So this is really about understanding what's happening and going deep to help you address the issue at its root cause. So putting that everything together, again, this is just an overview, but the content that I'm going to cover in the program goes beyond just what I've just shared. So this is how it all comes together in terms of the clear pathway to bring you from where you are to where you want to be, and very specifically the inner work that we'll be doing in each of these barriers to help you move forward from your mindset, your emotions, and finally your action to get you to the final outcome and the sustainable change that you're looking for. So why the ICAN system works? First, it's anchored on proven science, not just something that I said or from created by AI, with real world experience. Second, it provides you a clear path forward from where you are to when you want to be with the 5 steps framework that I just shared. And you will also receive personalized support directly from myself to guide you along on your journey. And lastly, it has produced more than 20 successful use cases, and this success could be for you as well. So here's an example of one of my client, John. So in this case, as you can see, I worked with John earlier this year. So in our work, what John has achieved is really to understand his strength and what has been holding him back, and that has given him the confidence to leverage on his strengths and to overcome his challenges and to take the next step forward. And in the case of John, I'm very proud that he has actually achieved a promotion earlier this year. That was probably in June. I wouldn't say the work that we have done is the reason why he got promoted. Definitely not. But it has played a very important part because I could actually see the visible change in John, not just myself, but his family, his wife, his kids as well has seen a change in him, and that has given him the confidence and has allowed him to excel in his work as well. So that's John. This is an example of another person I work with, Xiang Lim. In this case, it was me holding or rather conducting a ICAN workshop for his team. As you can see over here, what he's shared is that the insights, the tools, and the strategies have been very practical and helping his team to really understand the deep lying limiting beliefs that are impacting or rather impacting their performance at this point. So staying stuck is costing you time, energy, and missed opportunities on a daily basis. It's costing you every single day. So if you have actually watched right until this step, let's get you unstuck. So this is my private invitation to you. I'm opening up 3 open slots for strategy call this week, and I'd like to invite you to scan this QR code to book your call with me. It's a 30 minutes call where we'll try to understand where you are, the challenges that you're facing, and how I can support you on your journey. Because the results that I just shared with you could be possible for you in 6 months' time from today. And lastly, I invite you to connect with me. You have not, just scan the QR code. This will bring you to my Linktree profile, and you can actually connect with me on some of these social channels to receive ongoing insights, content that can help you to move forward. And very lastly, I thank you for your time and your attention for watching this video. Hit the subscribe button and the like button so that you continue to engage and receive content from me on an ongoing basis. I look forward to speaking to you in the strategy call. Thank you.